Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into Fox Factory Holding Corp's latest filing. And let me tell you, there were some interesting votes that went down at their annual meeting. Think of it like a high school election, but with way more money and power at stake. Before we get started, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate filings, make sure you're subscribed. Also join our Discord community, the link is in the description below. So what exactly happened? Well, this Form 8K is basically a recap of their annual meeting held in May of 2025. It outlines all the proposals that were put to a vote and how the shareholders voted on them. These votes determine important things like who sits on the board of directors and who gets to audit their books. Let's get into it. First off, the meeting happened on May 9, 2025. A pretty significant number of shares, over 37 million, were represented, which meant they definitely had enough people showing up to make the votes count. It's like making sure you have enough people in your club to actually make decisions. Alright, let's talk about the first big item, the election of directors. Think of directors as the supervisors of the company. Shareholders got to vote on who they wanted to be in charge. Thomas Duncan and Jean Hay were elected as Class 3 directors, meaning they'll be around until the 2028 meeting. These guys will be helping to steer the ship for the next 3 years. Looking at the votes, Thomas Duncan got about 31.5 million votes for him, while about 1 million votes were withheld. Think of a withheld vote as someone saying, I'm not sure about this person. Jean Hay did even better, snagging over 32 million for votes with only about 500,000 withheld. It looks like the shareholders were pretty happy with these choices. Now you'll also see something called broker non-votes. This basically means that some brokers who hold shares for their clients didn't vote on this particular issue. Usually happens when the broker doesn't get instructions from the shareholder. Next up, Proposal 2, ratifying the appointment of independent public accountants. This is all about picking the company that will check Fox Factory's financial books. The shareholders were asked to approve Grant Thornton L as the company's independent public accountants for the year 2025. It's like getting a second opinion to make sure everything looks right. The vote was overwhelmingly in favour with over 37.5 million votes for and only a small number against or abstaining. This means everyone is on board with Grant Thornton keeping an eye on the finances. Now let's get to the fun part, executive compensation. This proposal asked shareholders to give their opinion on how much the top executives are getting paid. It's an advisory vote, meaning the board doesn't have to listen, but it's a good way to gauge shareholder sentiment. The vote was about the compensation of the company's named executive officers. It is important for shareholders to have a say on executive compensation to ensure it aligns with company performance and shareholder value. Here's where things get a bit more interesting. While over 21 million votes were for approving the compensation, more than 10 million votes were against. That's a pretty significant chunk of shareholders who think the executives are getting paid too much. There were also a couple of 100,000 abstaining votes. Again, we see those broker non-votes, meaning some brokers didn't weigh in on this. If you want to dig even deeper into these proposals, you can check out the company's definitive proxy statement, which they filed back in March of 2025. It's like the instruction manual for the annual meeting. And that's pretty much it for this report. Just a formal sign-off from Michael Dennison, the CEO, to confirm that everything is accurate. All right, let's take a step back and look at what all this means. It seems like Fox Factory is doing okay, but there's definitely some disagreement on executive pay. A large number of against votes in the advisory vote on executive compensation is a red flag. It signals that a significant portion of shareholders believe that executive compensation is excessive or not aligned with company performance. This could potentially lead to some decreased investor confidence or to increased pressure on the board to reassess compensation policies to have a potential for activism from shareholders on compensation issues. Now, what could they do better? The shareholders are clearly not happy with executive compensation. Maybe they should lower the pay or tie it more closely to the company's results. Alright, that's our breakdown of Fox Factory's latest filing. What's your take on these votes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.